I relapsed because someone offered me $25,000 to drink with them, and I took the money.
This is Sarah Pribis. She was the one of the hosts of HQ Trivia years ago, and as part of a charity auction, she auctioned off lunch with her, and a much older man won and took her out to lunch, and then subsequently hired her and took her out to multiple meals in order to try to have her help him screen projects that he wanted to invest in. And then this is what happened. It's a little bit of a long one, but it's definitely worth watching.
Now, there were definitely a couple red flags because every single time we met, it would be in the private room of a restaurant, and he would always buy a very expensive bottle of wine, and he always poured me a glass, even though I said I was an alcoholic, and he would say, just in case. He also told me he didn't believe in alcoholism and that if everybody just drank expensive wine that they couldn't afford, then you couldn't afford to drink that much of it. Again, there were warning signs and I should have listened to my gut, but all I could focus on was the fact that he was very interested in some of my projects and potentially financing them. So one day we were having lunch and he said, I'm finally ready to finance this project. And he had a check ready for me for $25,000. He said the only way he would be willing to make out that check to my name, though, would be if I finally shared that glass of wine with him. I mean, so I was like, okay, I will have a few sips, I guess. I'm taking the money. And then I don't need to drink anymore after that. And I can just go back to being sober.
She goes on to say that holding on to this secret of her relapse actually manifested itself in the form of new addictions, and then she went back to drinking again for a really dark, brutal year until she was finally able to get clean again. Sarah's story isn't uncommon, and it's a fantastic example of men's perceived entitlement to women. I mean, this piece of shit just pushed and pushed and pushed until she drank. Coerced her until she finally drank. My guess is that when he heard that she was an alcoholic and didn't want to drink, he thought to himself that he would do whatever it took to try to get her drunk so that he could take advantage of her. Thankfully, that didn't happen. It's not just men with money doing this either. It's the guy at the bar buying shots for a strange woman and insisting that she take them and just pushing and pushing until she finally gives in just to get him to shut up and go away. It's the boyfriend or husband begging and pleading for intimacy until she gives in to his coercion and does something that she doesn't want to do, and he doesn't care enough to try to figure out why. Men consistently ignore women's boundaries and violate those boundaries and feel entitled to impose their needs onto women. Thankfully, in this situation, Sarah escaped and rebuilt her life, but a lot of women aren't this lucky. And so many men think that they're the victim just because she had the gall and audacity to say no. And this is bacon.